Good afternoon. Welcome into D. Armstrong WLTZ Facebook Live. I tell you, we've got a good show for you today, and been talking to some folks about what happened over the weekend in Phoenix City. Before we get to that, though, I want to say this, and I'm going to tell you this every day this week, and just kind of celebrate until this thing actually happens. But I want to say thank you to everyone who celebrating with me, people on Twitter responding, people on Instagram responding, and I haven't even posted it on Facebook yet. But I am the recipient of a Torch Award, which is a huge deal. Thank you so much. It's part of the Rice Awards, and every year there's a group of people in the industry, in the entertainment industry, television, radio, people who work with nonprofits, and they accept nominations from around the state, and then the board sits down and decides who they're going to honor. And this year, I am the recipient of the Torch Awards, and I am so excited. And yes, that is Ricky Smiley. And if he shows up and does the church lady, I'm gonna have to bust out and do a church song with him. And I might even pull one of my church hats out of my pocketbooks. But he's one of the recipients. Several of the other people you see there, if you look at their names on Twitter and on Instagram, you'll see that they are some of the movers and shakers in Atlanta. Their nonprofits are changing lives, and I'm being recognized for what has happened in my career. Spent a lot of time, sometimes you wonder if people even care, when you're doing things, and apparently people have been watching. I've worked with a lot of nonprofits, Young Life and the Christian Women's Job Corps, and I'm about to start one, and I guess I'll just put it out there. It's called Just Because, where I encourage people to just get out and do something for someone every day, just because, and that's going to debut later on this month. So just for working with people, in addition to the stories I've done, one of the biggest things I did for years was Buddy Check 9, where I encouraged women to check these things every month for breast cancer prevention. And then there was the Fat Free and Healthy, is to encourage us to always watch our weight, not because we want to be skinny, because I ain't never been skinny, not since I had my kids. So it's not about being skinny, but it's about being healthy. So after reviewing my career, I am a recipient of a Torch Award. It is September 23rd. Yes, you are invited if you'd like. A lot of stars are going to be there. Now, Ludacris was one of the recipients last year, and so was a couple of other stars. I wish I was a name dropper, because I forget their names sometimes, but some of the biggest stars in Atlanta will be at that place, and I tell you, I cannot wait to go. My whole family is going to be there. So let's get on to today then. All right, what's happening today? We did have an author coming on, and his wife has been hospitalized, and so the author of The Berry House, Earl Freeman from Columbus, is going to be on. We rescheduled for September the 6th because his wife is in the hospital this afternoon, and so I'm definitely going to have him back. The Berry House is a book, and I want you to be there, and I want you to share these things, because he has been a correctional officer with the youth for much of his career, and he wrote a book about what could happen to a young man, even a young man who was making A's and was a good boy, but he had an older brother that got him involved in a bunch of junk. What happens inside YDC? So that's going to be a great conversation, so stay tuned with that for September 6th. Then I turned around and got a couple of phone calls today. Just want to say good afternoon. Who's joining me this afternoon? Hey, Kelly Bain. Hello. I got to get back with you, Kelly Bain. I thought I'd turn this thing down. Okay, there we go. Good afternoon, Kelly Bain. Kelly Bain, and Rhonda Brown German, two of my favorite entrepreneurs. Let me tell you something, ladies. I'm tired of talking to you on the phone. You need to come into the studio. Both of you guys, okay? Kelly is in another state, and I have a lot of viewers that are in other states, but Rhonda, you need to get your little hiney over here and show some of your jewelry. She's an entrepreneur, and she's one of those ladies that I mean, to be an entrepreneur, you got to have a strong mind and a strong constitution, because you're trying to keep that man happy, you're trying to keep the kids happy, you're trying to keep your boss happy, you're trying to keep the people working with you happy, and you're trying to make some money. So she's somebody that's out there doing that. And so is Kelly Bain, I tell you, and she is an artist. If you scroll down on my page, you will see where she has just taken her ability to be an artist and turned it into income at a time in her life when she didn't have an income. And it's starting out, and you know what, I'm gonna prophesy over you, Kelly. It's not going to just be giraffes. You know, what she's doing awesome with giraffes, coloring books, and the primary focus is giraffes now. After April the giraffe, you know, everybody was watching online as she was having a baby. Well, Kelly took that and parlayed it into a career for herself. You're going to be doing some other things, and maybe something for me, girl. I have a book in me, and I need someone to illustrate. Okay. Oh, Rhonda says, just let me know when. I sure will. And Sean Ricks, thank you so much for being with us. Timothy Childry, thank you so much for joining us. But here's what's happening, and we're actually going to go into it tomorrow in a big way. Anybody go to the Angie Stone concert Saturday? If you did, let me know. Were you there? I know that. Thank you, Sean. He said, congratulations for the award. Thank you so much. I'm wondering, did you have something to do with it? He's one of the 2 chefs plus a pan who appear on the show quite frequently. And let me tell you, when you don't show up, people call me and ask me where you are, guys. So you got to get back down here. Carrie Honeywood, thank you so much for being with us, Carrie. But what we're going to do is, I got a call today from someone in Phoenix City, and right now she said it's 99% sure that she's going to be on tomorrow with me. But what happened is, as they say, what happened is this right here, this big announcement during the Angie Stone show.
Come on, don't do that. Don't do that. We got too much going on in the world for that. We're trying to do the best that we can.
No. Give me my money back.
I see you booing. That's okay. That's okay. I see you starting to boo, but that's okay. Because you know what? We're all working black people. Things happen, but I'm trying to say when we come back, we'll figure it out.
What's he saying that? I guess he thinks he's supposed to get a pass because he's black.
Their thing, Calvin Richardson, Tony Terry. But we're trying, but we're running out of time. The city has a curfew that we can't beat.
What happened to Sherelle? No.
Wow. Okay, let me tell you what was happening there. That was the promoter for the Angie Stone Summer Fest, and I'm telling you, that show was the bomb on up until we heard the bomb. The bomb dropped, boom, boom. I mean, it just exploded because everybody was jamming. We were having so much fun, so much fun. It was one of those concerts where we couldn't get on the stage with the acts, but they came into the audience. It was just awesome. It was awesome. And everybody's just grooving, and I got to sit in VIP. VIP was wonderful. You had this personal service down there, and oh my goodness, when he jumped off, oh my goodness. And the voices were wonderful, the audio, the sound was great in the amphitheater. But what we didn't know was behind the scenes there were some problems going on. And as it turned out, these were the preliminary acts right here. These are the preliminary acts, and then there was no Angie Stone. No Alvin Stone. Yeah, that's Calvin Richardson. There were there was no Angie Stone, but he tore it up. He literally tore it up. I tell you, that man, if he had been 20 years younger, I'd have been standing in the back waiting on him. He was so cute. But Calvin Richardson, he tore it up. Some of them just professionals, they went on anyway. But at a certain point, I guess, when some of the those involved found out there might have been some issues, they did not want to go on. I'm not sure exactly what the details are, just things I've heard. I'm going to let her come on. Rebecca Harris from Phoenix City Parks and Rec is going to come on. She says because people are still calling, people are still concerned about the ticket money. They saw most of the show. Tony Benzio said, "This is so wrong. Did you get your money back?" Yeah, well, after he came out and said, what's wrong with you black people? There was plenty. It was a diverse crowd, but for some reason and then that kind of ticked people off. So like, are we upset because we're black people? Are we upset because we bought tickets and Angie Stone isn't here? So he kind of got away from that, don't be acting like you black people or something. And then he never did explain why she didn't come on, didn't explain why Sherelle didn't come on. Tony Terry did come on. Calvin Richardson did come on. We had a local group, oh gosh, what's his name? Dunn, he's the son of the former police officer Dunlap, and he did a great job also. So there were some great, and there was a gospel singer on. She actually opened up and did a wonderful job. But Angie Stone, no Angie Stone. So are you, Rhonda Brown German says, not professional at all. We're going to talk about it tomorrow. What do you do? My friend is still trying to hear from the bank. She actually called the bank when we were still sitting there. She said, you know what, I'm sitting in a concert. Angie Stone didn't show up. Do not process that that money that I just paid for. But they said, you know what, while it's pending, we can't do anything because it's like out in Cyberville. So they said, call us as soon as you see that it hit your account. And she's still trying to see if she can get her money back. So we're going to see what happens to the money, what actually happened, who's actually taking blame for it. And I did hear this, that it wasn't Angie Stone, that Angie Stone was willing to do what she could do, but she can't go out there and just sing what they call it, Acapulco. You know, you have to have your musicians, you got to have your sound people, you got to have somebody with you. So we're going to be talking about that tomorrow. And then Friday, we're going to have Rooney G on, okay? I want you to be here. Rooney G is one of the hottest DJs in the country, and for some reason in Columbus, we draw some of the best people on planet Earth. So he's one of the hottest DJs around, travels with some of the big names, and he's going to be on the show just talking smack with me Friday. So I want you to stay tuned with us this week. I haven't decided if I'm going to give something away. I got to figure it out. If it rains, I'll give away an umbrella. Maybe we'll give away a, I know what I wanted to give away. If we find, so you guys cross your fingers for me, if I find where I can get those eclipse glasses, I want to give away some eclipse glasses. How about that? Because that's how I roll. You know, I bet you Oprah didn't give away any eclipse glasses. So I think I'll do that. Daryl Stokes says she lives in Lithonia. They still got a concert. Oh, Angie Stone lives in Lithonia, huh? In one of those great big houses that you pass before you get to the little houses. Lithonia has some awesome houses. That's from Daryl Stokes. Oh, gosh. Tony Benzino says there should be a law against promoters like that, or they should be fined. It has happened. You know, it happened. There was a play that came through with Candy Burris, and the first stop was Columbus, and Columbus was sold out, and she made tons of money. But I guess the next one or two stops did not bring in the same ticket sales, and so the promoter was not able to continue to pay to stay on the road. Promoters have to have money that is put away in case you don't get enough tickets for each stop, and then at some point, hopefully you make it up, and and he makes his money. But you don't go out hoping that every stop you're going to make the money you're supposed to make. So apparently, this promoter with Angie Stone, the same, not the same promoter, but a promoter with Candy Burris, as was rumored, just didn't have the money in the pot for that. So we'll have some answers tomorrow about what happened, to your money. Do you get your money back? Is it the city's fault? Is it Angie's fault? Is it the promoter's fault? We'll get all that cleared up tomorrow. Have your questions ready for me. And Tony Benzio says you can get eclipse glasses. You can get it. You can get the glasses. You can get the glasses. You can get the glasses. Okay, I'm going to try to get the glasses, and we're going to try to do something live during the eclipse, because we did see on CNN one of the medical reports. If you put the glasses over the lens of your cell phone, you can actually look at the eclipse. So you can put it on the lens of your cell phone. Just make sure you're looking through that lens and through the glasses, because you better not look at it directly because it really could affect your eyes. So you guys, thank you so much for watching. I love you. I love you. And my prayers go to Earl Freeman. His wife is in the hospital this afternoon. I'm not mad at you. You do what you have to do. He was going to come on and talk about his book today, The Berry House. So that's going to be September 6th now. He said, that's me being Oprah. Okay, you get glasses, you get glasses. I can't give away a car, but hey, don't let me find some Eclipse glasses. I will give them away. All right, so be with us Friday for Rooney G, and tomorrow we'll talk about what happened and what happens when you go to a concert and the act does not go on, especially if you're paying something like my daughter told me she paid $200 to see Beyonce. She said it was worth every dime. But what if Beyonce doesn't show up? What do? You know, here locally it was between $35 and $65 or $75. But we're working people. And if somebody gives up $50, $75 for a concert, they want to see a concert. So let's talk about that tomorrow. Thank you so much for being with me. I want to hear from somebody too before I go. All this last minute stuff, I know. I want to hear from somebody about what's going on in Hurtsboro. Have you heard that they're trying to put an incinerator down there in one of the older neighborhoods, and the people are saying, you know, why you put this stuff down here where the poor folks live? Why do you want to do that? Why do you want to burn trash in my neighborhood? And they are throwing a fit. They're saying, I don't care how many jobs it is, why don't you put it in your neighborhood? Okay, so we'll talk about that. I'm trying to line that up too and see what's happening. It may very well be on the news tonight. If it's not, the news is still following it. I'm following it, and we'll bring it to you as soon as we get both sides of that issue. I love you so much. Stay with WLTZ. This is where you get the best news. We're on at 5 o'clock in the morning. I come back at noon. That's what I'm getting ready for right now. And we are on at 6, 10, and 11. Love you guys. Thank you so much, Tony. Keith Thornton, it's a lot that goes on dealing with the show. Okay, Keith Thornton, sounds like he might have been involved with it. Keith, be watching tomorrow. If you were behind the scenes, you think that you guys weren't treated fairly, that people were mad at the wrong people, show up and let us know what you have to say. Hey, Lee Brown Metz. It's one of my favorite people in the world. She used to be on. She's a local comedian, and she's a host downtown at the Loft. If you've ever been to the Loft, you've seen her. She's that crazy lady at the door. Okay? All right. But let's talk about what happens when the concert doesn't go on. Okay? We'll talk about that tomorrow. I'll see you then.